have no proper home, to have no family left, to go hungry. What does it feel like? Die when you least expect it, to have even the smallest dignity stripped away from you. It feels like war. There are two major wars going on in the present, which are the Russia-Ukrainian war and the Israel-Palestine spar. But before I get on with my main topic, let us think about one simple question. What is war, to be exact? War is a military conflict between two or more countries, and is often associated with violence, destruction, and death. The motives for such extreme actions include different political grounds, unstable relationships, and sometimes as a revolution from citizens. War is paid close attention to worldwide because it can do a lot to affect our worldwide status when different countries decide on who they will side with. Let us take the Russia-Ukrainian war, for example. Most countries decided to side and give support to Ukraine, but China, however, stood by Russia. What China faced was economical shunting from countries that weren't in a good spot with them in the first place. For example, America. Also, when the war first started, oil and gas prices skyrocketed because of Russia's withdrawal from the global market. I trust everyone must have more or less heard about the ongoing war between Israel and Palestine, but let me briefly inform everybody about what it is actually about. Though the origins of their conflict date way back in 1947, they had been fled way back then. This was the first large military action led by the terrorist group known as Hamas. After years of Arabian and Jewish people fighting for rights on land, different opinions on distribution and religious beliefs led to a massive bombing led by Hamas from the Gaza Strip into Israel on the early morning of October 7. Israel responded to this attack by preventing supplies and resources from going to Palestine, creating what citizens called a ruthless prison, giving them no choice but to turn to the UN for evacuee status or to head towards Israel for higher chances of employment and to turn their backs on their current situation. These examples are only the tip of the iceberg. Apart from these more well-known wars, countries like Syria and Africa are facing war among themselves. Those who have been through world wars know how difficult and nerve-wracking it is to face the uncertainties and sometimes ridiculous rules they have no choice but to abide by. This is where Ghibli comes in. Its chief animator, Hayao Miyazaki, was born in 1941 and was a witness to World War II in his childhood. He saw the horrors and duality of the war, and therefore developed his anti-war stance that is reflected in his work. In his famous anime, The Grave of the Fireflies, we see on screen what it is like to be part of war and describes the devastation through the pure innocence of a child's point of view. Apart from The Grave of the Fireflies, the movies Porco Rosso, The Wind Rises, Howl's Moving Castle, and Princess Mononoke are also works that have a close bonding with war impact. These themes are repeated among his work. His films are created with the idea of peace in mind, not through superior might, but through common knowledge and the understanding that hate does nothing but breed hate in return. This concept has become common in Japanese cinema, often referred to as the power of love, either platonic or romantic in the industry. It is love and peace rather than war and hate that is searched for and presented as the standard that Studio Ghibli has established. War is the greatest plague that can afflict humanity. It destroys religion, it destroys states, it destroys families. Any scourge is preferable to it. Martin Luther King. Through Ghibli, I learned to appreciate everything that I currently have, and to spend more time trying to learn about what war is about. To raise awareness, our school has also enrolled in the Right for Rights program led by the Amnesty Corporation. Last year, I myself wrote to the Ukraine government to give my consolation on their situation and donated goods with my friends and family ready to send towards Israel. Although we seem small and unable to do anything, together we can make a big difference. War isn't just somebody else's business. It's what we all have to contemplate and sympathize with, because who knows when we'll face the same peril. If we use Miyazaki's power of love concept in our daily lives, it would not only help us be a better person, but also to avoid arguments. I hope someday we can see this on the meeting table. Do we really need war to solve our problems? What does it feel like to have nothing left, to feel emptiness gnawing in the pit of your stomach? Aid those in need, hold a candle out to them. This is what war does to our lives. And please, make enemy, not war. My presentation is based off the goals of SDGs 4 and SDG 16. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and thank you for coming today.
时间4分42秒。Now is Q&A section， 请评审提问。
It's a very special topic about to talk about easy activity, talk about work. And when you back to the past, what do you think about the SDGs, the education is part can help us to avoid the work?
Okay, so if we have like more then maybe we would know that it is not decent to start like a large military action when it is possible for us to just talk it through. If we didn't talk it through before and if we had proper education, then perhaps we could do something to prevent the courses of these actions.
And I think that the education is based on the country. And every different country is very different things. It's just like American or Asian. And they also have the high education in their country. And how about them to avoid and how to people to do to avoid the work and to learn the education.
I think that like for for advanced like economies like American and European countries, I think what they really lack and what we can improve on is their sense of mutuality. So sometimes I've heard people say before that these people are more of a like narcissist. But I think that like through social media and proper education, for example, like we have counseling. So perhaps if they undergo this process, then perhaps they will develop the mutuality and to think about their actions before they start a war.